This is April, of course, a counselor that integrates spiritual ideals and beliefs that are universally based to help us live better lives. We are a mind, a soul, and our body. Today, we are talking about bad girl, bad boy attraction, addiction. Why do we do it? So many factors here that I have notes because I'm like, I don't want to miss one thing. Let us set our intention today to be open minded, to be non judgmental about ourselves, and to do the spiritual and emotional work so that we can find love in our life. And I believe we all deserve that if that's what we choose. So let's go back to the beginning, way back. Back in caveman times, heterosexual relationships, especially with women, we were attracted to the tough guy for reasons of actual survival and protection. And as well as men looking for the tough girl that's going to join with them and team and make it through the wilds of civilization. So part of that is a DNA. We kind of want that. But then there's the variable reinforcer to all of this, liking the bad girl or bad boy, is it's like a crapshoot. Oh my God, this is so exciting. It's like going to Vegas every day. Maybe I'll win. Maybe I won't. Maybe he'll call. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll love me. Maybe he won't. Maybe I'll win the grand prize. I've got the yellow ticket. Yay! I'm going to Wally World. Yay! Guys, hey, we're talking about bad boys and bad girls, and I would appreciate if you not being one of that group. Sorry, guys. So it's a crapshoot. So we get addicted and it becomes a toxic relationship. Are they going to do what we want? Are we going to call? Am I going to text him? Is he going to return my text? It feeds something that is very unhealthy. And we grab onto that food because once again, spiritually, we're looking for others to help us make it through this very, very crazy adventure called living. The next thing is it's a feel-good dopamine releaser, just the way doing drugs is a dopamine, just the way ice cream, cake, candy, sweets, buying a new pair of shoes, going shopping, planning a vacation. There's two parts of that. When we are in a drama-filled relationship, it's exciting. It's like, holy hell, I'm going out with him. He could have been out with anyone and he chose me. She was a biatch all week and now all of a sudden she called and she's sweet and she wants to go to lunch. So it becomes addicted to drama. Once again, not a good relationship. Also, future addiction. Something to look forward to. You know, when you're a kid, every day you're looking for summer vacation and it seems like forever, but when it gets out and you break out of school, you're like, yay, I'm out, I'm free. Christmas, holidays, prom. For me, prom was always one of the most disappointing nights because I had put so much expectation into it. And, you know, high expectations can, for some of us at least, never live up to the actual event. So we have added that. So we have the dopamine release, the addiction to toxic relationships, the crapshoot. We never know what's going to be. It's called variable reinforcement. I'm going into actual counseling terms here. And addiction to the future. Now, let's go back to our innate beliefs. Now, that's the conscious messages we are getting from birth on, and maybe even before that, carried through DNA. We have this belief that the more difficult something is to achieve, the more value it holds for us. So, and we all think of that, you know, if you go to a store and you get something really great for, you know, and it's cheap. That's why we like all these designer bags. It's hard to get. Only a few people have it. and they up those prices and prices because there's something in our mind that says the more difficult it is to get a man, a woman, a purse, a car, a Porsche, anything, a high-end 5-star restaurant, the much better it should be. Now, I have eaten at a lot of great restaurants that weren't 5-star, and I've had some crappy dinners at 5-star restaurants. So I know in my mind that that's not the case, but we are so programmed, getting the grand prize has to be hard or it's worthless to us. Okay, next, there's a deep-seated belief that this is my problem. Oh my God. That people who are safe and predictable must be boring. It's like, oh my God, you love me. Oh my God, you just love me? Like, I didn't have to work for this. I didn't have to do anything. And on a other level, it may be attached to our feelings of self-esteem that why would you just like me? Well, maybe they just like you. There are people that just are going to like you, okay? And boring and safe sometimes is the most peaceful, wonderful kind of relationship there is to have. And maybe the one that you've been looking for and you're blinded by DNA, reinforcing. Also, let's go back to childhood. Most of us grew up in a lot of drama. We are like the divorced generation, at least my generation is. And unless there's fighting or chaos, then something doesn't seem right. Okay, it's just not right. There's no fighting here. He's not fighting with me. He's not manipulating me with money. He is not keeping me on my toes. Maybe that's not love. Once again, childhood early trauma. I'm telling you, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, Sigmund Freud wasn't all that wrong about early childhood environment. Next, the manipulation factor. Some of these people, not everyone you meet is going to be nice. Not everyone you meet is going to tell the truth. If you want to look for a person that's going to drive you crazy, they often come off as very safe and kind and loving. There's a lot of fabulous looking people who are wonderful at manipulation, who have their own needs, and they're not your needs, and they're not in your best interest. On a spiritual level too, I think we have forgotten who we are. We are wonderful. We do not need actually anybody to fulfill us. Everything we need is already here. This feeling of lack comes from being on this planet and not being in our heavenly source, wherever that is, and feeling that oneness. A lot of us have not done our work. So we are really looking for things outside of that to make it right for us, which we know by now that's called codependence, and it will never, ever work in a healthy, happy way. So goodbye to bad guys, to bad girls. How do you do it? The first thing is, if you fall in love instantly with somebody, you just probably hit all of those buttons. I think chemistry is wonderful. And I think if you are healthy and you have not had any trauma in your past, no addiction issues, you don't have a history of liking the bad girl, bad guy scenario, you don't check into Heartbreak Hotel often, then go with the chemistry. But I would say most of us, when I get that chemistry, I'm like, whoa, I just got hit in the head with all of my weaknesses, all of my emotional flaws, and all of the things I need to work on. Now, I can choose to work on that with a person, or I can choose to get my act together and maybe not have to work on it anymore and find a real playmate, someone who meets me on my level, not because they need me, but because they enjoy me. I enjoy being here with you. I have a new book that explains more how childhood trauma, addiction, molestation, adultery can be passed on from one generation to another. It becomes part of our life story, and we relive it over and over to prove our story correct, even though it is deeply flawed. You are not flawed. Let me end this session with my daily sign off. Visit me, aprilkirkwood.com, or email me, aprilofcourse@gmail.com. You're listening to April of Course series of love, relationships, and anything else your little heart wants to talk about. I love you. I praise you. I appreciate you. You are God's child. Great things happen to you. Nothing can stop it. I will be blogging about this more on my website. Stay well, my friend. Thank you for sharing this time with me. It's truly an honor.